Young, handsome, statue-like, only breathing and moving, Heracles was bored. Yes, he was bored, despite all the splendor of Olympus.
Hij is so longed for adventure. Real adventure.
He longed to come down to earth, to see how mortals lived, and maybe show them how strong he was. But Zeus, the old man with the beard and lightning bolts, was not thrilled with these ideas. He threatened his son with heavenly punishment if he disobeyed. And, as you may have guessed, Hercules disobeyed. Thunder rumbles, lightning flashes, and the hero, who had just feasted with Athena, flies into the atmosphere like a meteorite. He falls into Atlantis, where he is fished out by a stunned ship bound for New York. The captain didn't know what to do with him, plus he was hard to get along with.
Zo'n aquarel breaks out between Hercules and the Zeus.
But the sailors, despite their endurance, were powerless against Heracles. When the ship docked at the shore, Heracles escaped. And then Pretzel shows up and decides to help him. He catches a cab, but soon discovers that he has no money to pay for it. This angers the cab driver, and Hercules, as usual, uses his power. Before he leaves, he flips the cab driver's car over. They head towards Krendel's house, but on the way he notices young athletes practicing. Hercules enters the stadium and the show begins. He throws the discus the farthest and long jumps the farthest. Athletes are shocked, coaches stutter, and on the podium Professor Camden and his daughter Helen are already mentally handing the guy an Olympic medal. In the evening, Hercules and Pretzel, at a tea party at the professor. Helen, gentle and well-mannered, immediately attracts the attention of the demigod. He showered her with compliments, like Zeus lightning. The girl is embarrassed, and Rotnelson, her suitor, becomes jealous. His attempt to put Hercules in his place fails, and he decides to leave. After the confrontation, Ellen agrees to a date, and the evening ends with romance in an open carriage. During the ride, a bear that has escaped from the zoo appears in front of them. Ellen mentally says goodbye to her life, but Hercules is not intimidated by this. He overpowers the bear with ease. Seeing his strength, the policeman is horrified. So the whole town learned about Hercules, and he is invited to wrestling. His manager is Pretzel, who has already smelled money and fame. Victory after victory, the fame grows, and with it the interest of the mafia. Soon the mafia finds Crandall and forces him to sign a contract with them. They too want to cash in on Hercules. Meanwhile, high above the hustle and bustle of the earth, lightning is gathering on Olympus, not metaphorically, but literally. Zeus, having seen the TV program Gods Among Us, where the protagonist is his son, who lifts people to laughter and barbells, becomes enraged. His son, heir to thunder and muscle, is on the show. Zeus sent his son to Earth to punish him, and the son is having fun. He snaps his fingers and Nemesis, the goddess of retribution, appears before him. Her task is simple: catch the prodigal son and lock him up in the underworld of Pluto for 100 years. 100 years in a realm where even the light dims with longing. But then the Celestials intervene. Mercury offers an alternative.
For now, alles calm on Earth. Hercules walks with Helena rund New York, studies Architektur, feeds pigeons, learns the joys of earthly existence. Peace, love, sympathy.
But the idol is broken by the appearance of Mercury. He tries to persuade him to return, promises feasts and a return to his native palace. But Heracles refuses. He likes the life of people.
Mercury returns with nothing.
Zeus has no choice but to give the go-ahead to Nemesis. But Juno, the wife of Zeus and unofficial main antagonist of Heracles, interferes in the plan. Her antipathy to her stepson is as great as her scheming talents. Juno suggests a change of tactics, not to punish, but to weaken. Make him mortal. Nemesis is given an insidious task: to slip magic powder into Hercules' drink, and then negotiate with Pluto to see it through. Pluto, the Lord of Darkness, doesn't object. Nemesis, like an experienced spy, shows up at the bar where Hercules and Helen are relaxing. A glass, a powder, a toast, and here the hero drinks his divinity to the bottom, not realizing that he has become mortal. Meanwhile, Pluto enters the arena. He appears in New York, and a thick, ominous darkness covers the city. The first thing he does is go to Hercules. He politely, even affectionately offers to descend to the underworld, say it's cozy there, the girls are beautiful, everything is included. Heracles, with a new status, but the same character, sends the gloomy god far away. Pluto doesn't get upset. He goes to the mafia, with whom Pretzel has a contract. The plan is devious: to frame Hercules. Pluto bets a large sum of money that he will lose. The mobsters are confident of victory, so he agrees to the bet. The newspapers are abuzz with reports: Hercules is back in the arena. Professor Camden and Ellen, excited, rush to the TV studio. Pretzel helps Hercules get ready, but something in his gaze says he senses something amiss. The mobsters appear in the locker room. They hint, if you lose, you don't get out alive.
Monstro enters the arena.
The contest begins, a 220-pound barbell for the first round. Olympus is holding its breath. New York is watching. 220 pounds is the warm-up weight for the Titans.
Monstro, as if playing a game, squeezes the barbell. Hercules follows, still confident, still shining like a bronze statue in the sun.
The crowd buzzes, cameras click, mobsters rub their hands together. 340 pounds, this is serious. Once again, they both lift the barbell. With difficulty, with a growl, but they lift the barbell. Only Hercules begins to feel strange. His muscles are obeying, but not like before. Sweat runs in rivulets, and it seems that his strength is waning. The next weight is 450 kilograms. The monster takes it with difficulty, with a creak, but takes it. But Hercules can't lift the bar neither the first time nor the second. The demigod falls, unable to overcome the iron. The studio is shocked, the mobsters are furious, for they have lost a huge sum of money. Pretzel grabs his friend and drags him out of the studio. If we stay, we're finished, he whispers through clenched teeth.
Ellen and the professor distrace the bandits, giving them time to escape.
The bandits rush after them, certain that Hercules is in Ellen's car. But Hercules, seeing all this, can't stay away. He does what only true heroes do. He steals a Roman exhibition chariot, drawn by horses and decorated with gilding. With the chariot, he catches up to the bandits' car, fights them right on the run, and throws the car off the highway. But the wheel of the wagon fails, and the hero is forced to move to Ellen and her father in the car. Meanwhile, on Olympus, Zeus is watching his son, realizing that the situation is getting out of control. He notices, his son has lost his divine power.
Hercules, Ellen, the professor and Pretzel hide in Ados die Ware Haus.
The demigod wants to fight, but now he is only human. His friends convince him not to be a hero, but Heracles doesn't back down. He fights as hard as he can, but his strength is no longer the same. He is knocked down, he falls, he is kicked like a mere mortal. Zeus, watching, is silent. But Mercury and Venus cannot sit idly by. They secretly send the Atlanteans, the mighty, the indomitable, to help. They intervene and turn the tide of battle. Hercules rises, bruised but alive. He climbs onto a stack of paper spools and tries to tip them over his enemies. But his strength is lacking. That's when Zeus finally gives up. He cannot watch his son die at the hands of mere brigands. He gives Heracles back his strength. A stream of light descends from the heavens, and his muscles are once again filled with divine power. Heracles rises, the embodiment of fury and justice, and sweeps away his enemies as a storm sweeps away autumn leaves. Afterward, Heracles tells his father that he is ready to return home. Zeus is silent, then nods calmly. The hero has earned his forgiveness. And Zeus, having listened to all his son's stories, suddenly laughs. And he decides, why don't I go to Earth myself? I want to see how mortals live there now. That's all for today. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a like if you want to know more incredible stories where common sense rests and imagination celebrates victory.